Hey, this is Adam with the Adam Wines Guitar Academy, and today I'm coming to you with another video tutorial on how to do some relatively easy sweep picking. I think you'll find this to be much easier and more approachable if you've been struggling to be able to sweep pick. So this is a 2-string arpeggio sweep. There's a little more shifting to this one, which is pretty neat. And so check out the reel that I did to perform this real quick. Okay, let's get right into it. So starting off with measure 1, I'm going to give you the frets first. We have 17, going to 14, going to 15, going to 14. But the way you're going to want to accomplish that, I'm going to recommend you do an up pick on the first string, pull off to the 14, then do an up pick on the 15 here on the second string, and then do a down pick on the 14 of the first string. So all together. And what that is a D major arpeggio, the D, F sharp, and A. As mentioned before, sweep picking is usually some kind of arpeggio. And in this case, it's a 2-string arpeggio as we talked about. Now, after that, we're going to shift, and we're going to come over to 14 with the pinky. We're going to pull off to 10. We're going to use the index finger here to grab 10, and then 10 on the first string. So technique-wise, we're going to want to pull off, or rather, we want to do an up pick on string 1, pull off, and then we're going to just roll our finger over, our index finger over to the second string, and also do an up pick there. And then we're going to do a down pick at 10 on the first string. So far with that, we got. So you can see with my index finger there, I'm kind of setting it up for a finger roll. A finger roll is where you roll your finger like that. That takes a little getting used to. It's almost like a bar, but you're not holding it down. If I hold it down, that's not going to be the sound we want. We want it to roll. So as it rolls, it's going to come off that string. So this is a little exaggerated. You don't want to roll quite that much. So what that'll look like from the beginning, you can see I set my finger up to be able to do the roll there. Now, music theory-wise, we had F sharp, D, and A, which is another D major triad, actually. It's just inverted. It has the A as the low note instead of the D. Now after that, we're going to shift again. There's a lot of shifting here, as we mentioned. So it's going to be 12, 9, 10, 9. Those are going to be the notes being used here. It's going to be done twice. Same technique, up, pull off, up, down pick. So far, shift, shift. And the notes here are E, C sharp, and A. That's an A triad. You can think of that as the 5 chord in the context of D major. Now coming over to the next measure, we shift again. We got 15, 12, 13, 12. And same technique, up pick, pull off, up pick on the second string, down pick. That's a C major triad. We have this G, E, and C right there. And another shift. We have 12, 8, 8, 8, and another finger roll technique going on there. 12, 8, 8, 8. Same technique of up, pull off, up, down. The notes here are E, C, and G. So it's the C triad again, but inverted. So this is pretty similar to the previous measure. We've just switched our chord or our triad. So far. And then it's going to shift again to 10, 7, 8, 7. Or technique-wise, we're going to go up, pull off, up, down pick, just like before. And that's a G triad, G, B, and D. That's the 5 chord in the context of C. So we basically have modulated from the key of D to the key of C. So that's what's happening there. Now we're going to come over to the next measure. And we have 13, 10, 11, 10 to start. That is same technique. So up, pull off, up, down. The notes here are F, D, and B flat. It's a B flat major triad. And then it's going to shift and do this finger roll technique again. 10, 6, 6, 6. That's another B flat triad, actually, but inverted. So it's very similar to the other two measures so far. And then it's going to come over to 8-5-6-5, another up pick, pull off, up, down technique. And that is an F triad, which is the 5 chord in the context of B flat. So we've had the same 1-5 kind of chord progression movement, but we've modulated 3 times now, which is pretty cool. Okay, next measure we have 7-3-3-3. It's doing that finger roll technique again. Up, pull off, down. I'm sorry, yeah, up, pull off, up, down. There we go. And a lot of shifting here. 7-3-3-3. And then we shift over here. 10-7-8-7. 9-5-5-5. 12-9-10-9. A lot of shifting going on there. And using the same kinds of shapes. So here, this is B, G, D. It's a G major triad. And it shifts over here. That's another G major triad, but now it has the G in the bass instead of the D in the bass. And it shifts back over here. C sharp, A, E. It's an A triad, A major triad. And then it comes over here, another A major triad, but in a different inversion. So this had the 5th or the E in the bass, and this had the root in the bass. So once that's happened, the whole thing just repeats again. So nice and slow. D triad inverted. And that is that A triad twice. That's the 5 chord. So D, 1 chord going to A, 5 chord. Next measure, as mentioned before, we had C triad, inversion of the C triad, G triad twice. So 1-5 in the key of C. And then we had the B flat key, B flat triad inverted, F triad. So another 1-5 progression. Then we had the one that kind of jumps around a bunch. The G triad, another G triad, A triad, another A triad. And then it's going to land in the very end on a D. So it just resolves on a D note. So it's really just the same thing 2 times and then resolving on a D. So really slow for you. First 2 measures right, and then the second 2 measures. And then we repeat all of that again, and then the second time around, resolve on the D. Now, this one isn't too hard, but what is hard about this is all the shifting, especially at the end there. All that kind of shifting that you had to do. But technique-wise, it's not too bad. The finger roll may give you a little bit of a challenge at first if you've never done that before, so you may just want to practice rolling your finger. And you're going to want to have that finger set up anytime you have to bring it up. So just think about that when you're practicing this. Just take it nice and slow. Do it 1 measure at a time, or even a half of a measure at a time, or even an arpeggio at a time. Like if you just need to sit and just work on, say, this arpeggio at the end, feel free to do that over and over and over again until it's not a problem. Okay, I'll see you in another video.